Hey friends, it's Michele Lamoureux, and I'm really excited to let you know that I've launched a new website, which you can find over at thegoodlifecoach.com. Many of you have asked about working together, and the site has all the information about the different ways that we can connect. It has all of the current interviews, and it goes a little bit deeper into my story and why I have this podcast and do the work that I do in the world. So come on over to thegoodlifecoach.com. And if you have yet to sign up for the newsletter, definitely join the community. And as a thank you, you'll get a list of 52 self-care tips, one for every week of the year. Hey friends, welcome to The Good Life with Michele Lamoureux, a show for women in midlife who want to live happier, healthier, and more meaningful lives. I'm your host, Michele Lamoureux, a self-love coach and the author of Design a Life You Love. And together we're going to be doing just that. Each week I bring on world-class experts, best-selling authors, leading entrepreneurs, and also do solo casts with the intention of inviting you to get connected to what you really desire from your life. This show is produced with love every week. There's inspiration and actionable tips in every episode because I want to see women playing a starring role in their lives instead of living on the sidelines. Be sure to join the Good Life Community newsletter over at thegoodlifecoach.com for more inspiration and tips to live your best midlife. And make sure you're following the show on your favorite podcast player. I'm so glad that you're here. Hey friends, it's Michele Lamoureux and welcome back to the show. Today I'm doing a solo cast. So many people have written in and I have friends who are in a season of their life where they are feeling a bit lost and unsure of their next steps and why they're here and really questioning which direction they should go in. And I completely understand and can relate. I think it's important to question what your soul's purpose is here. I do believe that everyone has gifts that they are meant to share. Whether you make a living with those gifts or not, I don't think is what's as important as whether you're expressing your most authentic self and bringing those gifts forth. So I am actually going to have in the show notes over at thegoodlifecoach.com something you can print out. It's a PDF called Remember Your Purpose. And it's free. You don't have to sign up for it. You can just get a copy of it. Now, there's a lot of talk about reinvention in midlife. You've got to reinvent yourself. And maybe what ultimately happens feels like a reinvention. But I actually believe it's more of a remembering. I think we lose our way. We discount the things that come easily to us. We don't celebrate or embrace or acknowledge the things that do make us unique and that we do have as gifts. And so what I'm going to walk you through today is connected to that handout. And it's an opportunity for you to spend some time with me. And I'm going to coach you through some questions that I invite you to take some time, carve out 20 minutes to do this. You've got 20 minutes for yourself and your future. So it starts in the handout. Do you have a feeling that you're here for something bigger than what you are doing now? Do you allow yourself to pursue that feeling and to follow that path? We are all born with a special gift that we are meant to bring to this planet. Your gift is that something special that comes easily to you, and when you are engaged in that activity, you lose track of time. It also brings you great joy, and you deserve to do work that you love. And I'm going to walk you through some questions. Now, with everything happening in the world, I think one of the things that we can do is to really continue to embrace and become more of our authentic selves and to bring that love to humanity. I think it's more important than ever. So here's some questions to think and journal about to become aware of your gifts. So pay attention to your feelings when you're journaling and look for any reoccurring themes. So you may have heard this question before, but I'm going to ask you again. What are your strengths? Take some time to write about those. Don't censor. That's really important. And if you're not sure what your strengths are, text 3 people that are close to you and say, can you please text me back 3 strengths of mine? What do you see are my 3 top strengths? And you may be surprised to see some common themes emerging. The second, what activities do you do where you lose all track of time because you are so immersed in a positive way? I'm sure there are many things. It could be doing art. Maybe you love to doodle and you've never explored your artistic side. Maybe it's when you're teaching something. It could be anything. Maybe you just lose track of time and you light up. Think about what immerses you in a positive way. For me, it is podcasting. When I'm engaged in conversation with somebody over a topic, that lights me up. And it doesn't even have to be through a podcast. So maybe you have that level of curiosity where you love to learn, engage with others. And so maybe podcasting is something you'd be thinking about doing. But take some time to just write down what those are. And again, if you're not sure, pay attention to the next time you just really are just feeling in flow and feeling alive and feeling joyful because you're doing something. What are those activities? Write those down. Okay. Number 3, ask the people who you know best what 3 words they would use to describe what makes you unique or special. So I've done this before, actually, and it's really amazing to see the things that people see that make you special. They end up texting back or writing back if you email them or telling you back the same things. I found common themes. For me, it was being a connector, a good communicator, a good listener, inspiring. See what people say about you. This is just more information to help you. Life is truly a journey. And so part of our quest is to hold that curiosity with a sense of play the way that children do, where they explore things without needing to have the answer. They're just in it for the exploration and the joy of learning and having things unfold before them. And that's the energy I want you to approach this with. Okay, number 4, what ideas come into your mind over and over again? Perhaps it's one thing you dream of doing but never think could become a reality. So I believe that you need to at least be able to be honest with yourself. You don't have to share these dreams with anyone, but you do have to be able to acknowledge them for yourself. It doesn't mean you have to drop everything and pursue that thing right now, but pay attention. What are those things that you daydream about? Be honest with yourself, have fun with it, and write about it. Okay, next. When you were a child, what did you dream of doing when you grew up? What were your favorite activities? Now, sometimes we're influenced by adults in terms of what we think we should do or just our exposure of what we see as what's possible. But there definitely are some clues from when you were a child. So, for example, I remember we had a video camera and we used to always make movies. So there was a level of creativity there. I loved to sing and perform. My brothers and I and friends, we used to make like commercials and ads, and we were always recording and sharing. And I think a part of what I'm doing now kind of ties in that creativity and that curiosity and that sense of play and using media to connect ideas into something. So can spend some time thinking about that, and you might be surprised. You know, I even like to play Office, and I'm also an entrepreneur now. So there are some clues there, I promise you. Okay, you might have heard this question if you've ever worked with a career coach too. If money weren't an issue, what would you be doing? I actually think it's an important question because oftentimes what we choose to do or how we choose to spend our time or what we think we need to do for a living because we've always done it and done well in that industry, for example, we think, oh, we can't let that go because it makes us a lot of money and we don't allow anything else to come to mind. So if money really weren't an issue, what would you be doing? Would you be doing what you're doing now? Or would you be pursuing something completely different? Again, have some fun in the play and in the imagination without being frightened by the idea of letting go what's comfortable and safe. Next, what questions, problems do people you know commonly ask you to help solve? Or are there particular abilities that you have that they tell you that they admire? I have a friend who's so organized and literally, I think once a week I'm telling her, oh my God, you could start a business doing this. You could start a business doing this. And it all centers around her ability to be organized and make spaces beautiful. So what are those questions? What are those things that people come to help ask you to help solve? What are the things that people are seeing in you that they admire? Okay, next one. What memories, intuitions, or insights come to mind? So I want you to think about, again, some recurring themes. Does this trigger any memories? Like when I asked you about what did you love to do as a child? Like I did, I loved musical theater. I loved being on stage. Part of what I'm thinking might be next for me is speaking more, going out and speaking. So these are some thoughts that keep popping into my head and I'm paying attention to them. Doesn't mean you're taking action right away, but you really need to have awareness so that you can explore what lights you up and what is creating curiosity within you. Okay, this is a good one too. Next question. Who do you admire? When you see that person, you think to yourself, gosh, I'd really love to be doing what he or she is doing. What is it about the work that they are doing that most appeals to you? So if it is seeing somebody on stage speaking, is it their ability to command a room? Is it their confidence that you admire? Is it the subject matter that they're teaching about? Dissect what it is specifically about that person and what they do that you think, gosh, I'd love to be doing that myself. Okay, last one. Once you have more clarity, take action towards your ideas every single day. I want you to do this through practicing curiosity, courage, and commitment. I call those the 3 C's. And you're using your curiosity to explore what brings you pleasure and interests you. You're using your courage as the mindset you will use to keep pursuing those ideas, even if they scare you or make you feel uncomfortable. And commitment is your way of showing up for yourself and confirming your dreams matter. So the last part of this PDF that you can, like I said, download for free is a reflection space to write down any thoughts or ideas. But really, once you start gaining clarity, allow yourself to have that curiosity and take action. I had a guest on the show recently, and she had read a book, coincidentally, from one of my other guests. I didn't even realize it until after the interview was over. But one of the activities she did was she interviewed 3 people in 3 different industries about what it is that they did. And that helped her figure out what she would do next. So that was using curiosity, having the courage to reach out to people, and the commitment to follow through on that. And so this is something that I want you to play with as well. I do believe we are all here for a reason. I said it in the beginning, and I'm going to say it again as I wrap up. You don't have to totally reinvent yourself. What you do end up doing may in fact be what feels like and looks like a reinvention to everyone else. But I promise you, at the heart of it, it's a remembering. It's a remembering of who you are and why you are here. You have been given special gifts. Your soul knows. Your soul wants you to remember. Your soul is giving you clues. Your soul is whispering to you all the time. And it's our job to pay attention to those messages. Show notes for today will be over at thegoodlifecoach.com. If you want help with this, check out my website on the ways that we can connect. I've opened up my coaching practice to do one-on-one, both for podcast coaching and personal coaching. And it's more of a high-level one-on-one. Let's do some thinking about together, where I can be your coach and ask you the questions and help you go deeper and reflect back what I'm hearing. Often it's hard to do this alone, but you can also do this with a friend. So all of the show notes will be over at thegoodlifecoach.com with this PDF, which you don't need to sign up for the newsletter to access. You can listen to my voice, play it, pause it for each question. So it's like I'm coaching you through it, and write down the answers and then continue. And I really just want to support every woman out there who has a dream in her heart, who wants to become more of herself, to do so. You deserve that. It's why we're here. And again, whether or not you make a living at it, what's most important is that you're allowing yourself to reconnect to your most authentic being and aligning yourself with your gifts. And as you do that, you get to bring those gifts to the world. So thank you for tuning in today, and I'll be back with you next Wednesday. Bye for now. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you gained some new information or inspiration for your life. That is the essence of this show, is to really wake up to what's possible for you, to reclaim your beautiful voice, and to really learn to love and prioritize yourself. So if you gained any value from any of the conversations you've tuned into, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast player. You can do that right now on your phone. And please do consider leaving a rating and review if you have yet to do so on Apple Podcasts. It's actually how more women can find the show, and I really want to grow a community of women who are loving themselves and living full on. So thank you as always for tuning in, and I look forward to reconnecting with you next Wednesday. Bye for now.